Can you share some success stories about executive coaching?
Yes. Executive coaching is very near to my heart. So if somebody asks me about story,
it's your specialization.
It's my specialization as well. So if somebody asks me about the success stories, I have many in my box under my belt. But I'll just bring two, which I just remember, which were from my recent coaching engagements. There was one executive who was reporting to the chairman in that organization. So he was like having a CEO role. And the problem which that guy was facing was decision making. So what that guy was doing is that he was making decision, but he was procrastinating in making the decision. And see, just think that if there is an organization which is waiting for a CEO to make a decision and he is procrastinating, how much it is going to impact the whole organization. So when I got into coaching engagement with that guy, and we did the alignment, we brought everything from the past, his personality traits, his fears, whatever he wants to do, and there are many traits. Actually, we have a complete process of doing the alignment of an executive. So by having all that knowledge, I have identified that there are some emotional blocks in the personality of that individual. And why? Because what happened was that in past, that guy has made some decisions which were flawed, which result into a failure. Now what happens is that, and this is something, audience, it is common for everyone, that in our childhood we build some emotional blocks. Why? Because if we do some mistake, if we try something and if we don't success, then it creates an emotional block in our brain, in our neural system. So whenever such situation is coming, instead of taking the decision vigilantly or rationally, our mind says to us, don't take the decision. And this was the problem which was happening with this guy. And that is why he was procrastinating in all his decisions. So there is a technique in Mars Venus coaching through which we remove that emotional block. So it's a surgery in coaching through which we remove that emotional block so that that person start doing the decisions which he has to do. So by doing this, that executive was cured, and now he is making very good decisions, and he is a very strong and fast decision maker. And after that, he has done some very good decisions, and actually based on the coaching of that one CEO, the organizational structure was changed, and the organization has adapted to such a structure which was important for success of that organization. So this was one story with one of the CEO.
And these emotional blocks, these are not necessarily the fault of the person. They can be impacts, and they can be influences from your past childhood, or over the period, from your parents, from your peers. So
True.
so these all can, but you're not aware of them.
Yes. Thank you so much for bringing that up. It's a very important question, that these emotional blocks are not bad, and there is no fault with that individual. These emotional blocks are created by nature for us, because for example, as a child, if I'm doing some mistake, so what is happening, that this emotional block is helping me to take care of that situation again in future. So these emotional blocks are helpful for us. These are not something bad, these are good, and each one of us have these emotional blocks. What is happening, Mr. Aftab, is that once we grow up, these emotional blocks are not helping anymore. So if those emotional blocks are stopping a person from progress, then we have to remove it. And by the way, we identify those blocks in the alignment very early, but we don't remove them unless until we are seeing that it is hindering progress of a person. So if it is hindering, then we remove it. If not, then it continues the same.